And we're live. So it is Saturday, October 26th. It's time for another due diligence. And returning is, actually, I think you were my last guest. So I don't think I've had anyone since. Raphael, you're back because this body code stuff is the shit. So I want to talk about it. So maybe a bit of background for anyone that hasn't. In a second, I'll get you to provide a quick bit of background on yourself again for anyone tuning in for the first time. But I wanted to just talk about the experience I had in Santa Fe and why and how we've gotten to this point, because it involves body code, you and I having a discussion, and dogs. So just for those that might be tuning in, haven't heard this story before, I was in Santa Fe 3 weeks ago for the Human Design Conference. And I met Raphael basically on the last night, I think, at a coffee shop. And he was giving a presentation on, and he'll explain better than I will, but body code, emotion code, and there was something else, another code.
Yes, the belief code.
Belief code. And so we had about a dozen people there, and he went through this exercise where he uses the system, a pendulum, I'd say his own intuition, and would tap into some sort of core belief, core wound that was rooted in their body, and doing this all asking questions of a pendulum, and then using a magnet, although like you said, I think you can use your car keys, and I forget what you call the meridian, but you run it over the head and poof, people feel better. So I witnessed this happen like a dozen times, and the pessimist in me is like, okay, well, we could have 12 actors here, even though I knew everybody there. So nobody was an actor, they were friends. And they all had different experiences. But what sealed the deal for me was when Dreama had her dog, whose name I forget right now, come up, and you did it to a dog. And I think if the dog's emotions were anger and forlorn, I think were the words. And the dog was kind of nervous and jittery. And then once you tapped into that and then did the magnet thing over the dog, not even touching the dog, right? Like I think you were like 2 inches above its head. The dog's vibe changed. It relaxed. All of a sudden its tongue was hanging out. It was just as chill as ever. And so I was like, okay, this is awesome. So then I went home, and then we connected last week, and we did a session that was equally as profound, that we tapped into something that quite literally I've been trying to connect the dots on for a while. And you did it with zero background on it. I was able to connect the dots afterwards, basically. And the other thing that I thought was unusual about that experience is you had commented that most folks, when they not regress or wherever they get to that state, it's usually in the earlier years. Age 4 to 9 is much more common for retrieval. This was very specific for me. It was like around age 29. And I thought that was kind of interesting because I've done a lot of work already with plant medicine and other stuff where I feel like I've tapped into a lot of this stuff, and now I'm like doing second passes. So I just felt like that time frame was really, really super specific about a whole bunch of stuff that laid out the next 20 years of my life that I'm now trying to reverse engineer. So anyways, all that said, hey, Raphael.
Well, it's an interesting mix of ideas or connections that are somewhat accurate and somewhat inaccurate.
Okay.
But that's okay. So tell me what you'd like me to start with. You want me to correct what you said, or you want me to give you some background, or tell me?
No, because that was my first real pass at just kind of trying to get it out. So I'd rather correct the inaccuracies. So let's fix
all right. So the first thing is that this is what I have become a trainer. I'm not trainer, sorry, a practitioner in. I'm a trainer in another modality called HeartThread, which you haven't experienced yet. But I trained to become a belief code. Belief code is the latest iteration of this particular modality. Before that was the body code, and embedded within it, which was the first actual practical modality in the system called Discover Healing, founded by Dr. Bradley Nelson, is the emotion code. So I first found this book called The Emotion Code, and I read it, and then I started playing with it. And what the emotion code does is it is able to pinpoint a particular emotion that is trapped in the body that could come from any time in your life or prior, and is accessed through using a system called kinesiology, applied kinesiology, muscle testing, which accesses your subconscious mind. And it's your subconscious mind that is in control of everything. It knows everything about you, and it knows what you're ready to release, what you need. It knows what, where the triage, what's at the top of the list, and it directs the whole flow. The subconscious mind only provides answers in terms of a yes or a no. That's why I use the pendulum, because I'm very familiar with using it from numerous reasons. So I have a system where I hold the pendulum. It's now going counterclockwise, which means it's giving me a no. If I want it to give me a yes, it will start spinning the other way. Now it may be reversed because of the Zoom screen. I don't know, but so that tells me yes or no, basically. Mm-hmm. And the pendulum gives me the yeses and the nos. Then I can pinpoint it. And when we share screen, I'll show you how it works. I'll show you the screen with a list of 60 different emotions. Mm-hmm. So each time I ask, it's going to pinpoint one of them. And that's the one that we're going to clear once we get a little more information. The way we clear it is I run a magnet or a hand or a whatever. I can use a piece of selenite. I can use just my hand. It's the electromagnetics that are in the hand, and it's part of it, and it's the intention. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of it has to also do with the magnetic imprint of whatever that emotion might be. So I run this over what's called the governing meridian, which runs from down here all the way over center of the head and skull, all the way down the back. So we can use any part of that. And of course, it's convenient to just run it over our top of our skull. So 3 swipes and you're out. Mm-hmm. And it's cleared that particular trapped emotion. If it's an inherited trapped emotion, or something called a miasm, which is an inherited illness, then we do 10 swipes. And usually I could feel it starting to leave or shift from that ancestor that we pinpoint around 4 or 5. I can actually start feeling it. The other thing that happens a lot is I yawn. So you might see me yawning throughout this this interview, this session. Mm-hmm. And that's partly because I'm releasing together with you. It's just happens. It happens often now. I can step onto the dance floor and I start yawning deeply. Yeah. But just as I'm beginning to walk on my trail, I'm already yawning because it's some kind of release happens.
I feel like you. Oh, sorry. I was going to say. I feel like you said this before, or it popped in my head. But the way you describe it is almost like you would demagnetize a hotel room key or a credit card, right? Where it had data on it and now it doesn't, right? Because
exactly,
it got
exactly
a magnet.
Right, because there's an imprint, a magnetic imprint in there. Mm-hmm. And we've got a number of different attempts to explain this phenomenon because it looks and feels like a miracle. Mm-hmm. So here you are with a pain in your back that you've had for 20 years. And then we go 3 times and all of a sudden the pain's gone. or it's diminished, and it's leaving. So it's hard to believe from a mental perspective that one can do that. But, after doing a number of sessions and you're seeing those kinds of results, like you described with the dog, you just have to accept that there's something going on. And a miracle is only something we don't understand, part of natural law that we just haven't quite figured out with our left brain science.
Yeah.
So yeah, that describes the foundation of it all. We also, because the emotion code is the foundation, but the body code takes us to the next level where we can actually look at different things in the body, different areas of pain, something out of balance, misalignments. We can pinpoint a particular, one little bone on a phalange in the hand, or a teeny little muscle somewhere, can actually show up and be identifiable as something that's out of whack that we can then put back into alignment. Sometimes we get, yesterday, interestingly, I had two clients, one after the other, and they both had almost like 5 or 6 similar imbalances that we cleared up. There's some fascinating ones. One of them I like the most is image. It's like one carries an image from an incident. It could have been something that you witnessed. It could have been something that was going on for you, but there's an imprint in your mind of this picture. It could have been a nightmare. It could be a memory. Could even be an icon or a symbol. And so it's like mutual detective work with me and the client, trying to figure out, well, what is this image? And often, when I usually don't try and dig in myself, I usually ask the person, well, tell me what comes to your mind. First thing that comes to your mind. I explain what a negative image is, what it's like. And almost every time now, it feels like we've pinned it down. And then I can actually, while I'm clearing it, I dream up, I figure out or suggest an alternative image. So let's say there's an image of a bully, right? Off the top of my head. And this image is constantly there. You're always terrified because there's this bully that's always out to get you. So, so while I'm clearing it, I'll have the image shift to where this bully is, showing up, and you say something, and all of a sudden this guy just melts and he gives you a big hug and becomes your best buddy. And so you take that old image, completely replace it, so there's no longer any negative connotation attached to it, and then all the charge is gone. And sometimes those images go very deep. There's one person had an image of father walking out of the house, and that was it, gone forever. It's anything. Could be snakes. It could be, I have this image of almost drowning. So these things go deep, and they make lasting impressions on us. And again, we can change them through the intention, through the imagination, through the magnet, and through this collaboration that we have. And by changing the energy because the foundation of all healing, the foundation of all energy healing is energy.
Mhm.
Everything is energy. That trapped emotion of anger is just a ball of energy that's trapped in the body because it never was allowed to get released. So there's a lot of underlying principles that support the system, but essentially it's very simple. We use a simple method of yeses and nos, like the binary system on the computer.
Yep.
We use the magnet to clear things. We use our intention. We always begin a session by invoking a higher power, going into a moment of silence, and then using what you might call divine grace to help steer the matter, and in cooperation with the subconscious mind.
Cool.
So that's really the foundation of this particular work. And then I'm also a channel, and so when we do some of it, I get psychic impressions. Let's say there's a trapped emotion, inherited trapped emotion from an ancestor 8 generations ago, and the image is fear. I mean, the trapped emotion is fear. So I can pinpoint whether it's a male or a female, how many generations, again, using the pendulum. But then I have to figure out, if I don't have to, because we could still clear it. But then I get, do I need to know more? And because I can access, I will get an impression of what happened. Maybe it was, an incident during a war where the soldiers were coming, and the energy of the emotion is panic.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, I can pinpoint that, and then often, the experience of what happened when the soldiers come. These kinds of things will slip in.
Mhm.
If it's a miasm, which is an illness from an ancestor, I start after I've pinned it down to how many generations ago, was it a male or a female, whose line, dad or mom. I will actually start, it's almost like I hear the first letter. Oh, it's a C. Wow, what is C? Is it cancer? No, not cancer. Cystitis. What the heck is cystitis? And I look it up, but a word will just pop in.
Hmm.
And then I'll get, the pendulum will give me confirmation when I get it. So you can, as you do this work more and more, you tend to get a little more psychic. And often I'll have a sense of where we're going to go before we go there.
Yep.
But I always like to not try and push the envelope.
Okay. You ready to do an experiment? I got Scout here at my feet.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll put her up on the bed so I can sit with her. Because I imagine, do you feel like you need to see the dog, or could she be at my feet? I mean, I kind of curious to see her respond
so,
after, right?
so here's what we with you not being present with me, because if I'm working with a client in person, I'm going to swipe over their head.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were at a distance, I am going to swipe as your proxy.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be the surrogate for your dog, and I'm your proxy. So I will swipe, and essentially, I'm going to be the proxy for your dog.
Right. So I'm not swiping for the dog.
No, you don't have to do anything.
Okay. So, but why don't I get the dog up there just so we can, because I'd be curious to see if we capture any.
Is it a big dog or a little dog?
He's
I
Scout is
see I see a tail wagging. I already know we're talking about them.
There's 3 of them in here. I'm assuming all 3 can be in here. You're just going to be targeting the one, right?
Yeah.
Come
Is
here.
it, how comfortable is it for you to have him on your lap?
On the chair, it's going to be tough, which is why I'm thinking the bed here.
All right, yeah, because they're big dogs.
She's like 65 pounds. Come here. Come on. She also has an ear infection right now, so she's a little unhappy. Come on.
Well, maybe we can help that. Well, so while you're setting up, I am going to set up my share screen.
Okay.
I want to see if it's ready for you. No, it's not.
Do you need? You probably should have permission to share.
Well, I have permission because you've asked me to do this for your dog. So let me.
Oh no, I just meant in Zoom. There's a security permission. That's all I meant.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I was just saying that I just meant Zoom has a security permission. I just want to make sure I had that turned on.
Oh.
Yeah.
That I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I've confirmed it's good. So okay.
Yeah, because it's the 2 of us. We're working with each other. I don't think that's an issue.
Okay. Come here. Stay here. Stay here. Come here. Come.
All right, good.
I'm not going to play with your ear, okay? I'm not going to play with your ear.
All right, now I need to get back to Zoom.
It's okay.
All right, so I'm going to share screen, and so that means that the image of you and the dog on the screen is going to get really small.
Okay.
And instead, we're going to have 2 windows showing on the screen. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to move this guy down here. I'm moving us down here. All right, so we're going to start by, let's just put the date first. And your dog is named?
Scout.
Scout?
Scout, yeah.
Hi, Scout. How you doing?
Scout's trying to escape. There she is.
How old is Scout?
I think she's almost 9 now.
I'll put 9. All right. So you said she had ear infection?
She's got an ear infection right now. The other thing that I've always wondered about with her is, of all the dogs we've ever had, she will wince if you raise your hand near her. Like we've never hit our dogs. That's never been a thing in our family. But for whatever reason, if you even hold your hand above her head, she winces like she's like waiting to be hit. And her breeder only had her for 6 weeks and did not seem like the type that would be hitting either. So I wonder if it's like a what's the word? Like a genetic hereditary thing that she's got, because it's been unique to her for sure. The other dogs, like if I go like this, the dog's like nothing. But if I do that, she just immediately kind of.
All right. Yeah. And before she got
eyes and
before she came to you, was she with anybody else?
Just the breeder, so it would have been like 4 to 6 weeks.
And
as the breeder, I didn't get the sense that they were dog hitters, and I don't think a puppy in the way that she responds, like she really seems to almost be like deeply afraid of it.
It's possible she witnessed something, but let's leave that to Scout's subconscious mind to inform us and help us.
Okay.
So, and we may not know immediately whether this has been effective, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try raising your hand and see if there's a difference, but.
Well, like if I do this, yeah, as soon as I do that, I just have to hold my hand over, the brows come down, she drops her head. Like any other dog, nothing. But with her, it's a constant.
All right, well,
I can anticipate. So
let's take a moment of silence, connect with a higher power.
Okay.
And with each other. Oh, 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 there's the yawn. All right, good. We're good to go. All right, so are we looking? Do I need to go to the emotion code? No. Let's see. Is there what is the first imbalance we can address for Scout? Is it on the left? No. Is it a pathogen? Misalignment? Nutrition lifestyle?
Oh,
See, you can never second guess the subconscious. Is
yeah.
it
I
asleep?
wouldn't have thought nutrition or lifestyle, but let's keep going.
Is it asleep? No. Is it an outside need? No. Magnetic field, color imbalance? No. Nutrition, herb and spice. All right, so here's what I'm getting. Your dog needs an essential oil. All right, let's see which one. Column A, no. Column B, no. Column C, odd row. Is it row 1?
Yeah, man.
It's row 3. Is it sage, sandalwood, spikenard, spearmint? So it's spruce.
Nice.
All right, so essential oil. Now, if you look this all up or you ask an herbalist, they could probably tell you why this came up.
Okay.
Maybe it's something to do with the ear infection to help it. Let me see. Do I need to pinpoint? Yes. 1, 2, 3 drops once, twice a day.
Scout spruce, 3 drop,
For how long? Less than a week.
twice a day.
Once. Well, let's see, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah.
Can you get spruce as an essential oil? I guess you can.
If it's on this list, you probably can. Yeah. I had to order my stuff online when I couldn't find it locally. You might be able to, no, not in the water. Interesting. What's popping into my mind is put the drops on your hand or something, and then rub them behind the ears.
Okay.
See what happens.
Okay. And you're thinking that's for the ear infection, or we don't actually know what that's for. It's just needed.
Well, if again, I can ask. I'm saying yes for it. It would help with the ear infection.
Oh, good. Okay. Because the other thing I proposed was the reaction to being hit, right? I'd be curious if the two were related somehow too.
Well, I'm getting a no on that.
Okay, so not related.
Yeah, let's see. Where do we go next? Interestingly, that popped in first. Left side, looking at energy. Whoops. Left side, no allergy. So we're coming up with an emotion. Is this a trapped emotion? Yes.
Trapped emotion. Okay.
Prenatal, preconception, inherited, common trapped emotion. All right, so I like to use my abbreviation, which we'll do throughout. Let's see which one. Here's our list of 60. Is it in column A? No. Column B, odd row. Is it row 1? Row 3. It's row 5. Row 5. Conflict, creative insecurity. So interestingly, it comes up as terror.
Terror.
What age? Before 4.
She is definitely a scary cat. Of any animal in our house, terror is the word I could see her saying. Like that of any dog. Okay, keep going.
So yeah, we're looking at what age this may have come in, and because it's age 9, we always start by going like, well, half. What's half 9? Well, we'll say 8. Is it before 8? Let's guess a yes. I mean before. Sorry, before 4. I'm getting a yes. And that's half the age. So we have to pin it down. Is it before 2? No. Is it age? So around age 2, something happened. You may not remember. It doesn't necessarily mean you tried to hurt her, but something scared her. Some incident.
Fireworks. We also there's a rifle range for the military a couple of miles away from our other house, and she used to cower when she could hear those gunshots, even though they were really far away. She seemed to know that they weren't normal sounds, nature sounds.
The same with fireworks.
Yeah, I think fireworks. She gets pretty jittery too. And again, the other dogs don't respond the same way. It's just her.
Fireworks and gunshots.
Were you in the war in a previous life?
All right. Is there any more that I need to know? No. Somehow we don't know why it's connected to the raised hand, but it could be associated with something else. Do I need to know more? Can I clear this? Let's clear it. Here we go. Clearing it for Scout. Oh, there's a yawn. All right, so what I'm getting is that it's been released energetically. And
She just relaxed a little bit there. And her head went straight up and she was just looking me right in the eyes as though like she was getting something.
I love that.
She'll
They're having some kind of response.
Yeah, like she's
Is
really
there more? Yes, more. Is there another trapped emotion? Yes. Is it common? Yes. All right, so we're in the most, unless there's something else physically going on, it's more likely that we're looking at emotional issues. Is the next trapped emotion column A? It is. Is it odd row? Row 2. It's in row 4. Is it anger? Bitterness? It's guilt. Is this the scouts felt guilty? It's not picking up from anybody else. No, it's scouts' experience of guilt. Is it before age 4? Before age 2? Before age 1? Is it postpartum, after birth, first year, 6 months, before 6 months, 6, 7, 8, so around 9 months old? I don't know what would create that. Is there any way to pin it down? No. I have a feeling it's to do with other dogs. Maybe she pushed her way in front to get the food or something. Something happened with her. I need to know more. Can I clear this? Yeah, it's clear. Oh, I think her doggy conscience kicked in. All right, well, I get that. That's been released. So
Wow.
Is there anything else? No. That's it for Scout?
You're all done. Good job.
All
Okay,
right.
ready for another candidate?
Yeah, I'm going to save this and I'm going to call it.
She's really chilled out too. Like she was not happy about being with me on the bed at the time. She was a bit uncomfortable. But now she's just completely relaxed with just like a blank look on her face. Like she's just like up my spleen. So
All right, so I'm saving it as Sean's dogs.
thank you.
Now we can move to, what's your next dog's name?
So this is my mom and dad's dog. Sergeant Major Riley. He just goes by Riley mostly. He's 18 months old.
Reilley?
Riley.
Riley.
Ley.
Okay.
He's 17 months old, a basset hound, and the comment my mom's made a few times is that ever since he got fixed, he's been quite a naughty boy. Like his behavior became quite he's a great dog, but he can barrel you over with his size and power, and he's mischievous. And my parents are
chewing glasses and socks.
He's chewing glasses. I mean, he's being a dog still. He's being a puppy, but it's, just curious if there's anything more to it. So
Since being fixed?
Yeah, the behavior changed.
All right, so behavior change.
Come here.
After.
This is Riley, by the way.
Hi, Riley. Nice to meet you.
Good grief.
I don't like the word fixed. I'm going to put in inverted commas.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it neutered? Neutered for a boy?
Neutered, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'll stop using the word fixed. Because that would imply you were broken before.
All right, Riley, are you comfortable working with me? We're going to connect my heart to your heart. There we go.
I'm going to connect to you.
All right. And did I spell sergeant right?
I think so. Seargent.
Okay. Oh, interesting name you got there, brother. Let's see. Where do we go for a ride? Are we looking at trapped emotions? Yes. Do I need to go anywhere else? No. Are we good to work with together? Do I need to go another moment of silence? No, we're good. What is this trapped emotion in column A? No, it's in B, odd row. No, is it row 2? It's row 4. Depression. So, Riley has a common trapped emotion of depression.
Depression.
At what age did this happen? Let's see. How old is Riley?
17 months, so almost a year and a half.
All right, we'll put 17 months. Is it before 8 months? Before 8 months. 4, 6, somewhere around 7 months old. Is that when was he neutered?
When he was 1.
He was neutered when he was 1.
1.
So I guess it's prior to the neutering.
But he was good.
Was he?
He never was like this. So he was after a while.
Okay. You're yawning pretty good there.
What did I get? Half 8 months, 9 months. I got 9 months.
Okay.
Maybe you already were intending to neuter him and pick that up.
Possibly.
Do I need to know more?
Do they
No.
talk about it in the house?
Did I clear it? Let's clear it.
It was booked about then, but 2 or 3 minutes.
All right, well, that's gone. Let's see if there's another factor here. Is there another trapped emotion? Yes. Now that I know the age roughly of the neutering, I'm cheating a bit. Oh, I could cheat. Let's see. We're looking at another common trapped emotion. Is it in column A? No. Is it odd row? No. Row 2, 4. So we have row 6. Is it pride? Is it shame? Is it shock? No, so it's a common trapped emotion of unworthiness.
Unworthiness. Depression and unworthiness. Oh no.
That's what your dog's subconscious is telling us.
Oh.
Did this come about after being neutered? Around the same time. So this is probably there was the sense of not being worthy associated with this neutering process. It's like being punished for something.
You're basically describing me as well. So maybe you're getting my vibe.
Do I need to know more? No. So I'm gonna put before, around. Yeah, so around the time, around neutering time. Let's clear it. Oh, oh. All right, good. I don't normally yawn so deeply for things that seem inconsequential. So this is obviously important, certainly to Major Sergeant Major Riley. Is there more? Yes. Another common trapped emotion? Yes. Column A, no. Column B, yes. Odd row, yes. Row 1.
Stay here. Almost done.
Effort unreceived.
Oh,
Heartache.
heartache.
Insecurity. Overjoy. So vulnerability.
Will is definitely interested in him right now.
Are we looking at before 8 months? Before 8 months. Before, is it 4? Before 4? 4, 5, 6, 7. We're looking at around 8 months. Now we have no idea of knowing why these trapped emotions happen, but it seems like something, in the normal run of life of the animal affected them. But I just cleared it. Right? You cleared. Was there any more I needed to know? No.
Riley's in the clear?
Riley's, no, we cleared this one.
Oh, okay.
There's another one.
Another one.
Riley's maybe a more complicated animal, actually. Let's see. Are we looking at only trapped emotions for Riley? Yes. Common trapped emotion. Are these all common? Yes. Left side, column A. Column B, odd row. Row 1. Oh, row 1 again. Effort unreceived, heartache, insecurity.
Insecurity. My mom's over on the side just reacting to all these. So
Before 8 months, no, before 15 months, 16 months old. So this is recent.
Insecurity. 15 months old.
Oh,
Last month.
well, this is current age, right?
Yeah, like a month ago. When did you go on your cruise? When did you get back? About a month ago? Yeah. So my parents went away on a cruise. So I wonder if being left home with a sitter who treats them very well, but insecurity about them not coming back and stuff. Like,
I think you're right. Hit the money right on the, yeah, absolutely.
Consider more than us.
yeah, but it doesn't mean that he still doesn't miss you when you're gone, or he's insecure about your return, right? So, hey, bud.
All right, so parents travel.
Yeah, and one of his playmates hurt his back around that time, so they had like a. I mean, they basically had a dust up, right? This dog.
I don't know what happened, but I suspect he plowed into him.
Yeah, so
Dachshund.
my mom thinks Riley plowed into my parents' other dachshund, Monty, and they ended up with like a bulge in his disc. So I wonder if Riley thought he was in trouble. He was insecure. He was on his way out.
And so the disc happened to the other dog, not Riley.
Yeah, not to Riley, but there was lots of energy and talk in the house of possibly Riley was the cause. So he might have been feeling insecure energetically of being like
You may have picked up that guilt.
He may have picked up that guilt.
All right, do I need to know more? No. Can I clear it? Yeah. Oh, oh, ah. Very good. Have you noticed any shifted, Riley?
He's way chill now. He was like, I was having to hold him down for the first two. And then Willow was coming up and barking right in his face. She's a very interesting dog, by the way. She picks up, I think she can see auras and energy. So she really picked up when you were doing the vulnerability one. She was just right in his face and yapping away at him and very interested in him. So.
Oh, is there any more for Riley? No, Riley's clear.
You're clear.
You have a emotion code bill of health.
Good. My bed is covered in hair now. That'll be fun tonight.
Who else we have?
Do you have energy for one more? We got Willow here.
Well, we don't want to leave anybody out.
No, come here, Willow. Oh boy. So
Willow.
she's a doodle. She's one of our dogs. So we got Scout and Willow. She is now, I think she's just about 1 or just over 1. Come here.
Okay.
And she's an odd duck for sure. So
we'll call her age 12 months.
yeah, my wife will correct me on that for sure. But
Does Willow have any particular issues?
she's not very affectionate or cuddly. Like she's very independent. Curiously, Dr. Eleanor did a reading on her and actually told me right up front this dog mechanically would be like that, which was a very interesting third. Like I'm glad I learned that because I would have thought there was something wrong with this dog. So just she is quite an independent spirit.
Would you say distant?
No, just focused on what she's doing. So not so much distance, I would say.
I'll just put independent spirit.
Independent spirit for sure. Yeah. As far as issues, not really. Any issues? I'm trying to think. Well, she's been pretty good so far. No, not the same hangups as Scout had. So
Has she been fixed?
yes, or not.
Okay, well, let's see.
Spayed. And she was spayed about 2 months ago.
No shift in our attitude.
Nope. I would say that was actually really smooth. Like even the whole moon phase was not like.
So with Willow, we're going back to home here. Left side, pathogen. So she has a misalignment somewhere. System, common chakra, skeletal, soft tissue, organ, connective tissue, gland, fascia. She's got an imbalance in her fascia.
I'll have to get some spruce. First.
Psychiatrist.
No,
Let's see what the association is for that. It's another misalignment. No. Go back home. Left side. Pathogen, misalignment, nutrition, lifestyle. Interesting. Sleep, outside need, magnetic field, color, nutrition, herb, spice. So she needs something she's not getting. Column A, column B, column C. Odd row. Row 1. Odd row. Row 1, no. Row 3. Row 5. Column C, we said. Melon, mustard, myrgum, neem, nettle, nutmeg, oregano.
So she's Italian. she needs some oregano.
How do you get it to her? You may want to get it as a tincture.
Yeah.
Put some in her water. Is that right? Tincture? Yes. I need to know more? No. Do I need to clear it? No. Ooh. All right, we're going to clear this fascial distortion. Well, hang on a second. Are there any more association? Yes, there are. Didn't feel like that was it. Is there another? Let's see. Left side. Looking at energy. Looking at energy. Left side, energy. We're looking at emotion. Common trapped emotion. Trapped. Common. Yes.
Report back, please, because I'd like to hear how it goes. Yeah,
Column A. No. Column B, odd row. Row 1. Effort unreceived. Heartache.
Oh no.
Insecurity. Overjoy. So she's got vulnerability. He's got, it's he, right?
She, sorry.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability as well.
All right. Female.
Well, come here.
Male. Scout was a female.
Yes. And Riley's male. Yeah.
All right. Vulnerability. Before 6 months, before 7, 8, 9, 10 months old. So does that coincide with Riley's neutering time? No, it's too.
No, not really. And they don't see each other. I don't even think these two dogs have met until today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Riley is my mother's dog. Scout and Willow are mine. So I don't even think they've met till just like an hour ago. So.
Oh.
Maybe in the summer.
Is there anything else? 10 months old, 10 months ago, 10 months old, yeah. I need to know more. Can I release this? All right, let's release it. Well, we don't always know what happens in a dog's life.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she goes out for walks with other dogs. Like we have a fellow that comes and takes her in Scout. So it's entirely possible she had an interaction like that we didn't see.
All right, yeah.
So,
all right, let's clear the fascial distortion.
well, there's one time she almost got hit by a car. I was walking her, lost track of the chain, and I.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
Everything's all right.
that's good. That's been cleared.
Wow, there you go. You're clear.
Well, no, this particular one.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just get excited.
Let's see if there's another imbalance. Yep. There's another chapter motion. Yes. Column, yes. Column A. Column B, odd row. Is it row 1, 3, row 5? Conflict, creative insecurity, terror, unsupported.
Unsupported.
Let's see, before 6 months, before 3 months, before 2 months, around before 1, around birth. Something happened around her birth time.
I think there was 9 pups. And it was one of the smaller ones. That's about all I know, I think.
That could make sense. Yeah. Wasn't prenatal, no. Wasn't during birth, no, it's after birth. All right, do I need to know more? Can we clear this? Here we go.
Philip.
Oh, oh, okay, good. That's been released. Any more? Is there another chapter motion coming? Column A, column B again, odd row, row 1, row 3, row 5. Conflict, creative insecurity. All right, so there is terror.
Oh no.
Before 6 months. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So we had the same time, first month.
So that would have been before we got her. Maybe something happened, freaked her out.
Probably, yeah.
She had a very caring family taking care of the dog. Like we got pictures all the time. It's definitely not like a didn't seem like a place where they were truly.
It could be from, interaction between her and other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be the same sense of, feeling. Maybe it's even the same time, not just unsupported, but she might even be really scared. I need to know more. Can we clear this? As I say, I always have to trust what comes through. Good. All right, so that one's been released. Is there any more? No. That's it for Willow.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye on her.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
If you notice any change. How is
Well,
okay, Scout still there?
Scout is passed out and snoring.
Uh,
Riley has definitely chilled out. Like my mother has definitely noticed just how chilled out he is.
okay.
And even Willow is just relaxed all of a sudden. Yeah, they are pretty much three tired dogs.
All
So
right. That's
cool.
so I'll save this one.
Um, where do you want to go from here? Do you want to talk more about this or the process, or because that was neat. Like honestly, I'll report back to you any observations. But like Riley came here a bundle of energy, and he's fully passed out. Like he's just been at the spa all day or something. So.
Well, they're gonna have to, it's probably that they're gonna integrate this.
Mhm.
So that's their way. Well, I don't know. What do you think? We have
Well, here, I'm gonna say it out loud while we're live here, but I'd love for my mom to come and hang with you and try this, but we might have to turn the live feed off. So, would you be willing to do a session here quick with my mom?
I'm absolutely open.
Okay, we'll tell you what. Let's close the live feed off because I think we created a great little snapshot of this process with three different dogs from two different homes. And I wish people could see just how chill they are because it's a big energetic change. It's
Well,
like,
hold your screen, hold your computer,
uh, yeah, I can kind of do this. Let's see if this
see if
works.
they I mean it doesn't matter. We trust you.
So here, this is Scout, and like you probably can't hear her, but she's snoring, like she's out. And then Riley and Willow are over there. And again, Riley was like I had to almost hold him down, and now he's completely crashed. So.
All right. Well, that's cool.
All right. Well, why don't we wrap up this part because that's a fun little container, I think, and a great way to demonstrate this. And then I'll drag my mom in here and we'll let her give it a go.
Does she want to? I mean, we
Well,
don't.
are you a willing participant, mom?
It's offline for sure.
Oh, she's willing if it's not for public consumption.
There we go. I'm going to let's see. I'm going to close that one down.
Okay, I'm gonna just end the feed here, so just I'll play